Worried about letting someone else pick out the perfect avocado for your perfect impress them on the third date guacamole? Well, good thing Instacart shoppers are as picky as you are. They find ripe avocados like it's their guac on the line. They are milk expiration date detectives. They bag eggs like the 12 precious pieces of cargo they are. So let Instacart shoppers overthink your groceries so that you can overthink what you'll wear on that third date. Download the Instacart app today to get free delivery on your first 3 orders, while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Hello, welcome. Let's chat. It's hard. You want to talk? I know, that's disappointing. Sit back. Let's work this out. How's it going? What are we doing here? Where are you going? Hey there. Wow. It's not always easy. It's amazing if you think about it. Let's think about this. Strange. I have some thoughts about that. Life is hard. Trauma bonded.
Do you and Gwen have a hall pass for one particular celebrity?
I've heard it's a top 5.
Oh, you have 5?
I don't have 5.
I just have 1.
Who is it?
Mine is Gordon Ramsay.
Oh, because you like to be like insulted and stuff? Or do you think he's like
I
hot?
think he's kind of hot. I mean, I don't know. It's his confidence. He's British.
Oh, he's British. Mm-hmm.
And then Scott's was, I thought his was Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Oh, really? Okay.
But
Okay.
it's currently Isla Fisher.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I don't
Okay.
know. I guess I'm slightly perturbed that neither of these women look like me in the least.
They're like little, like
Yeah.
short. I feel like
But they're big
tiny.
titted.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
And they have like those faces, but they're like
Tiny faced.
tiny faced. Yeah, tiny
I'm
faced.
not tiny faced. Do you think Scott wants a tiny faced woman?
I mean, it seems like it.
Oh.
You know, whatever floats your boat.
I don't know. I'm gonna try not to be upset about it.
Oh, don't be upset about it. I'll tell you mine. I have a couple. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
My number one is Rachel McAdams.
That's a good one.
And then actually Sophia Bush from One Tree Hill.
She's kind of tiny faced too, isn't she?
Is she? No, she's regular faced. I go for regular faced.
Okay. Welcome to Trauma Bonded. I'm Elly Westberg, and I'm here with Therese Garcia.
Hello.
And today we're discussing the rebroadcast of This Is Actually Happening, episode 121, What If Your Favorite Celebrity Had a Crush on You? And this is from Nigel Cotino. His freshman year of college, although weird, he believed he was communicating with a famous actor. And full disclosure, I am the showrunner for This Is Actually Happening, and I have the privilege to vet stories and conduct pre-interviews before they go to Whit for the final interview. And T knows nothing about anything. She comes in fresh. This show, Trauma Bonded, is for the listeners, a space where we can talk about each episode, digest it, and reflect on it with empathy and also a bit of levity. This is truly one of those episodes where you're in the midst of it going, this is actually happening, but it's entirely possible that you get out of it and you look back and you don't know really what the lesson learned was. It's just something to experience in the moment, which is entirely possible. It's one of those stories that feel like some old-timey, conventional, like moral majority sort of horror movie lesson. Like, don't lust after celebs and you won't be open to be taken advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
And he himself says that sort of toward the end. Like, the guilt that he feels about all this is rooted in that idea, right? If he hadn't lusted after the celebrity, they couldn't have fooled him. They couldn't have taken advantage of him.
He does say that. He kind of blames
Yeah.
himself for it. I mean, mine was more just like, people be cray. That was what I was thinking. Like, why? But it's like, what is it in your frontal lobe? What is it? Not your frontal lobe. There's something in the front of your brain that hasn't fully developed yet until you're 25.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you think about it this way, when at the start of the episode, he says he's going to go to college, and he's thinking of it as like a clean slate, right? A chance to reinvent himself or be whoever he wants to be. And I guess we need to think about that from Jen's point of view as well. Like maybe she came in
Mm-hmm.
just planning to fuck everything up. Or
She's like an evil villain, just
can we
randomly.
talk frankly about this mystery
Okay.
itself? I'm not entirely sure it's the thing
Yes.
we're supposed to focus on, but I do feel like we should examine it just a little bit. I was really expecting a
Okay.
reveal at the end to really find out what the hell it was, but we don't get that. So I think we are left to figure it out a little bit. I did a little bit of research because I wanted to try to
Oh,
figure out
good.
who I thought the celebrity was.
Okay.
Do you have any ideas
Okay.
too?
I didn't do any research, but I also was like kind of getting mad that he wasn't revealing who it was. I was like, just tell us. And I didn't realize. I was like, okay, I guess they're not telling us because in the beginning I thought it was a true thing. I didn't realize it was like some weird
Mm,
catfishing thing. So I was like, I get it. But at this point, can't you just say? Because it's not true.
yeah, but I think he doesn't ever reveal
Who
it
d
because
Yeah.
he was never involved. So why put that person's name out there, I guess?
Right. No, true. But it's like I was guessing as well. I had a
Okay,
lot of
so this episode
thoughts.
came out in 2018. So let's say that the
Okay.
storyteller went to this film premiere in 2017. So let's say he he was a freshman in college, maybe somewhere between 2008 and 2010, something like that.
Oh, I was thinking
Oh, why'd you think
2013.
that?
Well, if it's out, I didn't know it was out 2018. I mean, I guess I could have just looked at the date. But if he did it 20, it was 4 years after, I thought.
Well, but he went through college and then it was another 4 years.
Okay. Right. And then now it's like a couple
Yeah.
years after
So,
that when he saw the
but it's
celeb. And then, yeah,
also
okay. So
entirely
20.
possible that even though this came out in 2018, it might have happened to him in 2016 or something. So that's why I was giving it that leeway of maybe 2008 to 2010.
Right. You're right. Okay, good.
Okay.
Let's do that.
So
Okay.
these are the clues, right? He says it's a very specific celebrity. He's pretty well
Mm-hmm.
known.
Mm-hmm.
He has a record company.
Mm-hmm.
He mentions that Jen has connections to some other singer who I also had thoughts about, but I didn't come up with anyone. And they're from the Midwest. Okay. So, Midwest, specific celebrity,
Okay.
well known record company. Also, he said he didn't think that he was gay, but the person I'm thinking
Yes.
of, there has been a lot of speculation about his sexuality, but he is currently with a woman, but there is speculation around whether he was gay or bi. And the movie premiere that he might have been at, there was a specific smaller role or a smaller, more indie film that premiered at Sundance in 2017, which is where he might have been. That this guy was also
Mm-hmm.
there. So, do you have, based on all those clues, do you know what I'm going to say?
Well, I I don't. Can you give me a clue, like what film you're thinking it's from 2017?
Yes.
Would that give it away completely?
I don't know. I don't think people knew this movie though. The movie,
Oh, okay. Well, tell
the
me
movie is
anyway.
called "I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore."
Oh. Oh my gosh. I don't know what the heck that is.
And Nigel did say that it had a well-known director, but the director of that movie is named Macon Blair, who maybe in film circles might be quote unquote well-known, but I don't know that he's exactly well-known. It's not like Steven Spielberg or something. He's done some like smaller indie
Right,
roles
right.
or indie films. Okay, so do you want the drum roll? Drum roll?
Okay.
La la la
Yeah.
la 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 la
No,
la.
but I still want to
Oh,
guess, but go
what's your
ahead.
guess?
No, I don't want to guess. I can't have any guesses. Do you have any is it associated with Glee at all? Is there an
I didn't
overlap
watch
there?
Glee. Did you?
Oh,
Oh, did you watch Glee? You watched Glee.
a
Yeah.
lot of it.
I did not factor Glee
Okay,
into
go ahead.
my research at all.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm
I
ready.
think the celebrity he thought it was is Elijah Wood.
No. No, 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 no. No. Really?
Elijah Wood.
The only reason I'm saying no. Okay, go
He
ahead. You
started a
say
record
why.
company in 2007. It's called Simeon Records. He's from Iowa, which is in the Midwest. He's a well-known celebrity, right?
Yeah, but I don't think like I thought it was less well known, but not he's really well known.
He said he was
He's been in all sorts of blockbuster films.
right. He has done a lot of blockbuster, but he also does a lot of smaller indie movies, right?
Oh,
So his
okay.
big like claim to fame is probably
Okay.
Frodo Baggins, but that was all in like early aughts, like up to
Yeah.
2003. So if he's
Okay.
starting an indie record label in 2007, then it stands to reason that he's got his feet on the ground, right? He doesn't fancy himself like too good for this world. He's still quite accessible.
Yep. Okay. Oh, interesting. And I didn't. Oh, so some people think he's gay.
There's been speculation about it, yeah.
Oh,
Because I just
interesting.
did a Google search, is Elijah Wood gay? And that's when I got a bunch of articles speculating on whether he was or not. But he is currently with a woman and they have children together, et cetera, et cetera. But of course, sexuality is fluid and it doesn't necessarily mean. And when he's confronted with the rumors or the pontifications that he is gay, he takes it as a flattering thing. It's not like he is actively fighting against it or anything. Let's talk about Lynn.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have something to say else about Elijah Wood?
No, I was just gonna say I would love to know, from the listeners who their guesses are.
Yes,
Just saying.
listeners, please contact us and let us know who you think it is. I mean, is this gross and weird that we're gonna name drop celebrities and try to figure it
Oh,
out? Is that gross and weird? Are we way off topic? Have we missed the
maybe,
point completely?
probably, but that's
It's our
pretty
show. We'll
consistent.
talk about it if we want.
It's our show.
So,
But everyone was thinking it. That's the only I was thinking
yeah,
that like
everyone's wondering
forever.
who it is.
Yeah, let's talk
Let's
about
talk about
Lynn.
Lynn.
I'm all set with
I don't
Lynn.
know what that means. What do you mean you're all set with Lynn?
I'm all set.
Like you've had
Done.
enough?
I've had enough
You
of Lynn. Lynn, I mean, is the partner in crime, right?
I
I'm thinking.
I don't think Jen could have
Are we
done this
thinking that?
without Lynn or someone else.
Well, she was sitting right there when he's getting messages, right?
And Lynn is like the constant cheerleader of Jen, right? Like Nigel
Oh
feels weird
yeah.
about something or says something, and Lynn's always the one going, no, yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true.
100% true. No, she fainted. She fainted. You haven't seen it, but she
If you
did.
didn't have Lynn constantly confirming Jen's stories, Nigel probably would have bowed out a long time ago because he thought so much of what she was saying was bullshit. But Lynn is an honor student. So she's a science major. Like everything about her says she would be truthful, honest, thinking of his best interest. I mean, it feels like they were in cahoots together.
Jen and Lynn, yeah.
And it's almost like her and Jen got together and created this backstory, right? All of these ways that we're supposed to feel bad for Jen or understand why she might need emotional support or affection, or reasons why you can't be mean to her, or you can't not make out with her, or you can't stop. You have to keep texting the celebrity because there's this very fragile ecosystem that's been set up around Jen that can't be fucked with.
Well, she's dying,
So her
Ellie.
dad's abusive. Like, her mom has a safe house just to get
Yes.
away, and her dad knows cops. Like, it's like every perceivable thing. Like, why don't we just call the cops? No, our dad knows cops. Like, every conceivable like objection he might have, they always have an answer for. Jen has this heart condition, and she's on the brink of death, and she has fainting spells, and
Don't talk about
but
it,
don't
though.
talk about it.
Don't talk about
And
it.
the celebrity,
Her improv skills aren't good enough yet to
right,
stay within the
right.
lie.
The celebrity wants them to make out to make her feel better. So it's all about making Jen feel better. And then adding in the celebrity is just another bit of this peer pressure. It's like Lynn is this old friend of Jen's, and so it's almost like she's taking on the celebrity role and sort of becoming a puppet master of Nigel so that she can satisfy Jen in a way that she's not able to as her friend. Here's a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is making out cheating? If you went and made out with the lady next door and you weren't really into it per se. Okay, wait. Let me change that. Let's say you went and made out with the man next door. And I know you're definitely not into that.
Oh,
You were
God.
doing it because, I don't know, someone called you on the phone and said, if you don't go do this right now, we're going to blow up your street. And you're like, okay, well, it's for the street. So you go next door and you make out with the man. And you get into it to make the person on the phone, like, think that you're into it. Is that cheating?
I don't think so. I don't know. I can see, like, the way that, I don't know about the bomb thing, but, like, the making out with a man for something other than wanting to make out with the
Right.
man. It feels gross. Like, he felt gross. Like, when I picture that, what you just said,
Yeah.
it feels gross. And he felt gross.
Right, because Nigel definitely was gay and definitely did not want to make out with her.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Is making out to the Les Mis soundtrack make it more or less worse?
It's worse. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if that makes it more or less cheating, but it makes it worse and
It's
creepy.
like,
I'm not that familiar with the Les Mis soundtrack, but it feels like it's a bit of like a kink for Jen or something, or like, I just felt gross about that.
I took it as it was a way to make a very gay man comfortable to make out with a woman.
Oh.
If Les Mis is being played in the background, he might feel more at ease. Like, maybe that's like her thinking behind it.
Oh. He's gay. He must
Right.
love
Every
Les
gay man
Mis.
loves Les Mis. Every gay man loves musical theater, like that kind of thinking. So she's like, if I play, or maybe she knew he really likes the album. If I play this, it'll make him feel at ease and he might be into kissing me. It's a very strange choice.
It just made me feel, yeah. So we know that Jen's motivation was to hook up with him. What was Lynn's motivation? Why would she do that?
I think there are two possible explanations.
Okay.
One, she's just trying to give Jen something to do. She seems like the type of person that might be really not needy, but a lot of bit to handle. So it's sort of a project for Jen. Two, Lynn is a science major. Maybe she's conducting some sort of experiment to see how far she can push a person in a catfishing experiment. I don't know.
Maybe Lynn wants Jen.
Maybe.
This is really hard because I don't.
Okay, let's back up for a second. Let's talk about this in a grander way. What is this episode about? What are we supposed to learn from it? What should it cause us
Okay.
to ponder? Are we meant to figure out who the actor is? Or if it was catfishing? Or if Lynn was in on it? Or are we meant to find some deeper meaning in it all? Is it like an allegory for something? I'm genuinely asking.
I'm genuinely listening. I think it's a good question. I got deep into all the, who's it, what's it, why
Right.
is it?
Because it feels like a place to start. Like, let's start with the practicalities.
But what's
the bigger point?
Because it's a bit of a mystery.
And it's never actually solved. And his takeaways are it was some sort of social brainwashing, but he never can understand why she did this to him. He says it has permanently informed how he deals with things. He disengages from unhealthy relationships, and he can't take social interactions at face value. He lives in fear that the text could start again. So he kind of goes from like these bigger ideas or takeaways or feelings that it's left him with to the more practicals, like he lives in fear that these texts might start again. That's why that my heart at the beginning was, it was some sort of like horror movie trope, like the hoe never gets away, right? You have to be a virgin to make it to the end of the film. So if he wasn't such a hoe, then they couldn't have taken advantage of him. He let his lust cloud his natural instincts about people fucking with him.
But that can't be the takeaway because he's really the victim of it all.
I know. I feel like he should be kinder to himself, but it's because he's missing the why. Why did she do this to him? Why? And then
I feel like
that just sends me back into the practicalities again. Okay, so when he gets a text, Jen gets a text, because that's how the celeb's smartphone works. And we just
that doesn't
go,
make any
okay,
sense.
what? Or
I mean, it's easy for us to kind of judge those things as we are listening to it, but he's like in it, right? And he's like, oh, I guess that's how it works.
right, he just accepts it at
like
face.
he's been convinced little by little by little, yeah, and he's in it
because he really wants to hook up with the celebrity. So he's just willing to accept these little nuggets of, judging them on the face of it. You would say that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But you want to accept it because you're wanting to believe. Maybe that's what it is. You want something so bad that you're choosing to believe things you wouldn't normally. But, okay. What about this part of like the celebrity sending Hollywood grips to rape Jen?
Oh my God.
So it forces him, he sees an older guy in the dorm. Is he her rapist? She's just going to go along with it. So her musician friend doesn't lose the rights to the music she's written. I mean, what? And then what about the part where it's the celebrity knows his parents' phone number and he casually just like pops in, like just casually drops that his parents' phone number, or his boyfriend getting weird calls. And then Jen is suicidal and the celebrity encouraging her to do it. Why?
This is like top level manipulation. This is way past like my even understanding of normal manipulation. It's like hitting him from all angles.
And it's for what? just so that she can have a few makeout sessions with Nigel? I mean, seriously, what is the end goal of all this manipulation? It's either just to see if you can, or you're trying to get something at the end.
Or she's like in love with
Right.
him. Obsessed in love.
Maybe we're overanalyzing how 18, 19-year-old kids act. I don't know. Maybe it was just a little game.
Boredom. Just bored. Everyone's playing a part.
So I am proud of Nigel. He tells his parents, which I think is a smart move. I think anytime that you shine light in dark spaces, that's a good thing. And I'm sure it was really difficult for him to tell his parents and to explain something like this, right? And to his parents' credit, they immediately say, cut her out. And he does. And it just made me start thinking of how hard it is to break up with a friend. Have you ever had to break up with a friend?
I don't think it's relevant.
Yeah, not relevant.
I actually don't know if have I broken up with a friend? I don't know.
I have. I don't know that they know what happened. I don't know. I don't feel like we're getting anywhere on this. I don't think that we solved anything.
Are we here to solve?
I don't know. I'm honestly asking, what are we supposed to take away from this episode?
Because it's all bad
It's just a
stuff.
slice of life. It's just like a catfishing story.
Yeah.
Right?
What sucks is he's learning not to trust anyone.
I know, it's terrible. I think, but the positives are, though, that he does disengage from unhealthy relationships. And I think that is a huge takeaway.
Yeah.
If you see red flags,
Good boundaries.
Set up boundaries. If you see red flags, don't ignore them. And if someone is causing you so much stress in your life, really evaluate whether they're worth the effort or if they're being reasonable in their efforts, and make sure that your friendships are balanced and that as much as you give, you receive. It shouldn't be you constantly putting yourself out for someone else. I think that's a good lesson to always remember and learn.
That is a good lesson.
I do think it's unfortunate that he can't take social interactions at face value. But ultimately, I do think that when you meet a person, when you just meet a person and it clicks just right away, there's value in that. I think that that's a rare thing, and take special care of those relationships. Like you and I.
That happened with us. Yeah.
No one wants to hear that.
We won't talk about it.
Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of Trauma Bonded, and that's trauma/bonded. You can find our show where podcasts are kept. Please rate and review us on Apple or other places. And if you like us, please rate and review us on Apple or other places. And thanks to Nigel for sharing their story and giving us the opportunity to talk about it. And thanks to This Is Actually Happening team, including Whit, Missildine, and the maker of our music and website, Nathaniel Trimboli. And thank you, of course, to Cathy Sites for editing this episode. You can contact us at traumabondedpod@gmail.com and find us on Instagram at traumabondedpodofficial, or visit our website at traumabondedpod.com. We are trauma bonded to the story, to the storyteller, to the listeners, and to each other. Thanks for spending time with us today. Love you, T.
Love you, Elly. Good job. Hey, thank you.
Hey, thank you. Okay. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Trauma Bonded.